Hey everyone, Raw Fuel TV here, and today we're going to install this auxiliary LED light bar on Ski-Doo XS chassis. Let's get to it. Just going to go over the tools for this installation. Get yourself a measuring tape, a marker, some Loctite. Make sure it's the blue kind, otherwise you'll never get the screws out again. A light 11/64 drill bit, 8mm socket, T25 Torx. These are just some extension pieces we've used for our installation. 1/4-inch drive, 8mm wrench, little poke tool, a drill, and an X-Acto knife. Let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do is take off the side panels. Next thing we want to do is just pop this windshield off. So we'll get our T25 Torx bit here. We got 2 Torx screws in the top. We just want to loosen those and take them right out. Just pull the door off of your compartment here if you got one of those. Make sure you don't lose your paperwork either. Got myself a little pick tool here. It's just going to help us pull this cluster out nice and easy. So there's 2 tabs in the top. You just want to depress the tab and just keep holding out on the cluster. When you push those 2 tabs down, you'll see them behind here now. That's what you're pushing down. This just pops right out. To pull out this electrical connection, there's a depression tab on this side here, which I'll show you once I pull it off. You'll see that's the tab right there. So push down on that tab, and I find wiggling it top to bottom just helps get it out. Make sure you put this somewhere safe too. They're not cheap. So we've got a few more screws that we have to pull out here. One on the side right here. Again, a T25, same as the top 2. And one on the other side. You can see these ones are a little bit shorter, so you want to keep these separate from the first 2 that you took out. 2 more Torx that we're going to have to take out here, again T25. The next thing we want to do is disconnect the air box from the filter housing. You can do that very simply by pulling up on this tab and twisting. You'll see that this pipe then separates from the filter housing itself. We're going to need to do that in order to take this off. So this air sensor wire is going to need to be disconnected from this pipe. 2 tabs on either side, which you can see, are going to have to be pulled out just a touch, and that cord will slide right out. We've got a little hose here that's connected to the top of this housing. So we're just going to pull it right out of that box. You'll see the little spigot right there that it connects into. We'll make sure to remember to connect that back up. So with all those items disconnected, this is going to slide nice and crisp right off the front. I'm just going to set that safely down here. Now you've exposed the main engine body. Most of the work that we're going to have to do is actually going to be on this upper piece we just took off. So I'm going to clear out a workspace and get this set up. Next thing we want to do is take these 4 screws out. Again, good old friend T25. That piece easily comes off. Next thing you want to do is just take this plate off here. Pull straight up. Underneath, you can kind of push these tabs to the side with a little tool. helps you remove them. Now this back one, easiest if you just slide your hand underneath, push towards the back of the sled, and then it just pops straight up. Now you'll see on top of here, there's a bunch of dots placed into the plastic. You're going to drill those 4 corners, and then we're going to take a utility knife and join the lines together like that. Switch is going to fit right in there. So we're just going to drill those 4 holes out. So on a nice sturdy flat surface, you just want to lightly start joining those lines together. So you just want to make sure that on high faces towards that hole. The switch just snaps right in. You'll see the tangs grab the plastic from the back. You've got 3 terminals. Terminal 1 is furthest to the back of the sled, 2 in the center, 3 at the front. And on the plate you can see where that hole in the plastic is pointing towards the front of the sled. Snap the back part in first, then the 2 inside, and then use your thumbs to push the plastic in, and those snap in there. Your switch is done and installed, and you'll have access to the terminals from underneath. We're going to connect these wires now. We got gray, white, red, yellow, purple, and orange. It's going to be terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 3. Terminal 1, again, is the terminal closest to the back of the sled. So, now that you've got your switch installed, we're going to take the air box off of the front cowling. You got 4 T25 screws to remove. Quickest way to get this cowling off once you've removed those 4 screws is to grab the outsides, pry them out like a wing, and that just slides right off, nice and easy. Now, it's really nice to set something soft down because as soon as you flip this over, there's potential to scratch up your lens. You just want to keep that nice and clean, obviously. We've got 2 8mm bolts here. That's going to remove these plastic vents. So we're going to pop those off. Get that out of your way. It's just a self-tapper into plastic, so you want to make sure you're being gentle with them. We want to take out this bolt here, T25 again. Same on the other side. And there's going to be the 2 at the top. These ones at the top are 8mm. You'll see that there's an electrical connector right here. You're going to have to slide it forward off of this tab, and that'll free up the wires. Next step is simply just to pull forward, and this whole piece comes right out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 is where our LED light's going to bolt into. Slide that piece in, they marry right up to each other. You'll see the 4 tabs lining up. Going to take the screws that they provide you with. Head goes to this side, nut on the back. Just finger tighten them in there for now. Get yourself an 8mm backer wrench and your T25 Torx. Just tighten these in. Then route your wire up through this little cut in the plastic on the right hand side. If you pinch it flat with your fingers, it slides in nice and easy. Just make sure you leave a little bit of slack there and route it up the side. Now the easiest way we found to do this was to tuck these wires behind the existing, and that'll ensure that they don't get pinched when you put this hood back on. Nice and clean. You'll just snap this piece back on, nice and simple. That folds underneath. And we're going to place this assembly back onto your airbox. Again, sliding it backwards into place. You'll see that your wires have to go around the back side of that post. You want your wires to just go around the back side of that post. Then this is all ready to go into place. Just making sure that none of them are getting pinched. It looks good. Get your top two 8mm self-tappers in. Again, these are just going to be snug because it's easy to cross thread or strip plastic out, and we don't want to do that. Something interesting to point out here is there's a cover that you can snap out really easily, and there's a plug-in right here. You can actually buy an aftermarket accessory right through Skidoo and get a 12-volt outlet right in your glove compartment if you ever want to plug in a cell phone or anything like that. Make sure you apply a little bit of thread locker to these new ones going in. So we're going to want to measure 1.25 inches down from the V. Just keep your tape lined up right in the center. 1.25 inches. Make a little mark. That's where we're going to drill our hole, and it's an 11/64 hole we're going to drill. Great way to do it is just to pre-mark or pre-dent the plastic with a tool. It'll just make it easier to drill. Punch your hole through. Just clean out the burrs. You're going to get your rubber piece here. Slide it through. Pull it from the bottom while pushing from the top. So just give it a good pull, spin it side to side, and you'll see once it's popped through there, that plastic piece is just going to help support the bottom of that LED light so it doesn't bounce around. All right. We just want to cut out these 4 tabs right here. They're already pretty well pre-marked. Once you've got your 4 tabs removed, we're ready to put it back together. So we're going to slide this piece back on. Again, grabbing the back parts and kind of fanning them out, sliding right up the middle. And this piece just slides right back into place again. We're going to get our T25 Torx and pop these 4 back into place. These 2 tangs right here are going to slide right up into these 2 holes. Right there and right there. So you're going to set that on top. Kind of got to get everything lined up just so. Make sure you flip these wires up through. And you're going to start kind of at the back and work your way forward. Best way to check if you've got it is just lift up on the front. You'll feel that it's clipped in place. Easiest way to look at these bunch of wires is, here's the new ones that we plugged in. I showed you before. Here are the existing ones. So the way you want to route these wires is this thinner one. You see these two are similar. One's thinner, one's thicker. The thinner one of the new set is going to plug into the existing cord from the sled. So that's your first connection done and out of the way. We're going to move this up and in front because this is going to end up plugging into your cluster. Your next wire is going to plug into the existing. So the wider purple connector from the harness is going to plug into the existing sled wires, which route to your headlights and the new auxiliary LED light. And then this is the power for the new headlight. We're going to fit this piece back on the top. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 T25 Torx to go in here to close that up. We're just going to connect the cluster back in again. Here it latch closed. Easiest way to do the cluster is to drop the bottom piece in, just push the top, secure it into place. Now, if we go look at this side again, we've got the sensor wire to connect into the top of our air box. Only fits in one way. And you see these tabs on the side will seat into place once you've got that connection in properly. Once you've got this electrical connection and air tube reconnected, you don't want to forget that hose on the other side. So this little clear hose is just going to connect back to this little fitting. Make sure you seat it all the way down. Give it a light tug, make sure it's connected. I'm just going to slide this glove box cover back on. Then all we have left is the windshield and your side covers. Now for the fun part. And there she be, sweet LED light. Enjoy.
If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, or check us out at www.rawfueltv.com.